What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Weeknight Dinners. Today is actually the weekend dinner edition. Tonight we're making meatloaf, brown sugar glazed meatloaf with dairy-free mashed potatoes. We're going to teach you the secret of dairy-free mashed potatoes. Stick with me.
The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take ground beef. I'm using 80/20 here. You're going to go ahead and put in 1 egg that has been beaten. The next thing that you're going to add is some spices. First spice is a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. After that, we have a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. And then we have just some salt to taste. It's always better to undersalt it first because it's always easier to add more salt than take salt out. Next thing that you need to add is 1 cup of milk. I'm using almond milk in this recipe. Like I said, dairy-free. You can use cow's milk, coconut milk, whatever milk you have on hand. I'm just using almond milk because it's pretty neutral flavor, not super noticeable. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add in 1 package of onion soup mix. I was struggling a little bit with the packaging, so that's why it's taking me a minute. I had to end up getting a knife out to open it. So after we add that into it, we'll go ahead and sprinkle that on top. And we'll go ahead and get everything mixed. The next thing that I realized that I had forgotten is to add breadcrumbs, so go ahead and add some breadcrumbs. Next, we're going to make the sauce. The sauce is pretty easy. It's just a 1/2 cup of ketchup. It is a 1/4 cup of brown sugar and a 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce. Oh, I'm so sorry, of apple cider vinegar, not Worcestershire sauce. I mean, I guess you could do Worcestershire sauce. It's definitely going to change the flavor. As you can see, it kind of mixes up there. Take a spoon, take that, and just mix it all together. Nice and gently whisk it. I've actually used this sauce before on other things too. I've put it on top of pork when I was cooking it. It's a good little sauce, nice and simple, nothing too complicated. So next you're going to take your sauce, you're going to pour it into the bottom of your meatloaf pan, or your, I guess, just loaf pan. Some people make bread in it. I usually just use it for meatloaf, but me and my wife have made zucchini bread in it before. We've made banana bread in it before. And you're going to spread it along the bottom. And then you're going to try and get some on the sides as best you can. And once you get it on the sides, you're probably going to have to use your hands to get it put together. That's the thing about meatloaf. You got to use your hands to mix it. Got to use your hands to put the sauce in. That's just part of it. It's one of those recipes that you get kind of dirty when you're making it, but that's all right. That's no big deal. All right, then you go ahead and you take your meatloaf and you place it into the pan. Try and kind of pat it down so it gets nice and evenly distributed, but I mean, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. We're not talking about a pate here. We're talking about meatloaf, for crying out loud. So once you get that meatloaf all put together, you take the remainder of the sauce that you have and go ahead and set your spoon down, not in the raw meat container. Then you're going to use it to spread the sauce all over the top of the meatloaf, remembering not to stick your raw meat hand into a clean dish, which is why I'm awkwardly holding my one hand because it had raw meat all over it. Then you're going to place it in an oven that's been preheated for 350 degrees. Then you'll take it out after about an hour. I think this one ended up cooking about an hour and 15 minutes.
All right, so there's a little bit of noise in the background, but that's okay. I'm going to show you what the secret to good dairy-free mashed potatoes is. So let's take a look. So I already have the potatoes in the pot, as I said. It just came off. Everybody knows how to boil the potatoes for mashed potatoes. And then put in a little bit of dairy-free butter. And after you put in dairy-free butter, here's the secret. And I know this is going to sound weird. Put mayonnaise in there. Put a little bit of mayo. A little bit of mayo. And then you're going to take it, and you're going to go ahead and just do the old hand mixer here. Nice thing about mayonnaise is it has fat like butter.
And so it adds some good flavor to it, but it's also nice and rich and creamy. And it's dairy free. Now, if you're vegan and you're looking for vegan things to make, they do have vegan A's out there, and I do have a couple people who I know who are, and they've done vegan A's. Spin that in there. Once you got that going a little bit, I'm gonna make it nice and simple. A little bit of garlic powder. Do a little bit of thyme. A little bit of thyme. A little bit of regular old table salt. A little bit of black pepper. And then we're going to go ahead and just keep on mixing that. The nice thing is if you don't feel like it's really the consistency that you want or the flavor that you want, you can always add in more butter and or mayonnaise. There you go. There you have it. Meatloaf, dairy-free mashed potatoes. Thanks for stopping by. See ya.